welcome back to Adjacent with Jace, the tabletop introduction and discussion brought to you by the Black Tower Stories. I am your host, Jace, and with me today, a stoic mage he's not, but he's silent in thought, picking a spell that's right to sway the fight, rolling 30s in Arcana to sense the flow of mana, ritual time it's a no, but here he is, Kilmo. Ta-da! Short, sweet, to the point, and
I'm
right.
assuming that's the one you wrote like 4 times ago when I was supposed to be on.
That's right. So it was a pretty easy last 2 weeks. I don't have to rewrite anything. I just got to use it.
Yep.
But welcome, Kilmo. It's been probably several weeks. I don't really know. It's hard to tell sometimes because,
I think it's been months.
it could be. But welcome back to the show. We've changed a lot of our scenery, as you can see. It's all the exact same thing. But since the last time you were on, I was using a different computer. So that's something new. You just can't tell it from this view.
Yeah.
I wrote in very fine print for the special today of Fey funnel cake.
Yeah.
And that's about it. We should probably get some new decor, change out the scenery, throw in some coffins with certain things that have happened recently. But first off, let's start off with my favorite question. What do you want to talk about?
One thing I do want to talk about is the assholes in the mask.
Assholes or just the one?
Well, there's going to be multiple because from what we saw, when we kill one of them, another one will show up eventually.
Yeah, but we killed one and then a stronger one came up, and like he's apparently one of the top dogs. So I don't know how much more higher on the pecking order we can get.
That's when we get sent the kill squad.
Ooh.
But I'm curious as to what we're going to have to do to stop the entire thing. We just got to go.
We go kill a god. Let's go kill a god.
Chop.
Takes too long if you do that. Start at the top. Go to the top, kill the person at the top, and then there's no one left.
The rest scatter.
Let's go kill this death god. That shouldn't be too hard, right? I've got a +1 weapon.
It depends on the death god. One of them, I'm not going to let you kill.
Not the hot ones. Only the ugly ones who hide behind masks.
Yeah.
That's right. If you're a god, you better be hot, or you're on the shit list.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the masked individual who is Basil. I don't know his name.
Alan.
His name's Alan, the assassin.
Yeah.
It's AA. So, if you aren't caught up on the latest episode, we ran into a shade of Cavell, one of the top dogs, the big head honchos, decided to come in disguised as Alan the dude, Alan the human, and attacked, spoiler, everyone, he attacked our beloved Yandere and killed him because Yandere got severely, actually, one-on-one combats can go real bad real quick if you don't get anything to work the first time.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that he had his aquatic ability, I think it was.
I mean, that's his ability. I'm not going to knock him for that.
Well, he got it back. So he used it twice, right at the beginning, instead of hitting him twice. Because he killed him in 2 turns.
Well, he hit him with melee. He tried to cast an ability. Didn't. I don't think it worked. My stats say basic.
Oh, right.
Yandere tried to cast a spell and it didn't work. So basically, you're just getting hit 6 times.
Yeah.
So, like, I got a lot of hit points. And that shit
If that
hurts.
whole person would have worked, though.
It wouldn't have.
That would have been pretty good.
Hold person only works against humans. It was never going to work.
Oh, because he does count as undead.
He's an undead creature. It never would have worked.
We would have had to have been hold monster.
Yeah. So that, I mean, he's disguised as Alan. We don't know who he is. And I
Yep.
mean, the whole point, we're like, oh man, this guy's really strong. And then he goes down, and it's like, oh, he's not stopping. This is getting bad. It's that dude.
And here's the thing, like, we all knew the fight with Kelmac didn't last long, but it lasted longer than the 3 turns that it took for Yandere to get downed.
It got to Kelmac's third turn, and he convinced him to
Yeah.
quit. He didn't fight
Oh,
him anymore. So
and
they're
then
roughly the same time frame. It's just
we had the walk flip and everything. But
it was not a recipe for
Kelmac did some,
success.
Kelmac did some work.
Yep. But that was not a situation that Yandere, with the turn of how it went, it was not going to end well. And Eric, post episode, we talked with him briefly and mentioned that the plan for the Shade of Cavail was go for Yandere, go for either Kelmac or Izal, depending on who's available, and then go to the other one, whoever's that one, and then take out Calum and Full Red when they're by themselves, or after the rest of the party's been taken care of. Like, oh,
Yeah, what I assumed was it was either going to be, I figured it was going to be you first because of the fact that you go and see your girlfriend all the time.
right.
And it would have had to have been on your way to see your girlfriend or on the way back because your girlfriend is a shopkeeper and
She's not a shopkeeper. She works for the city.
okay, she works
She
for
works for the
the
Adventurers
whatever.
Guild.
But I'm assuming she is at least somewhat strong in her own right. So you and her combined would have just wiped the floor with it. So he wouldn't have been able to do it there. He would have had to have done it with you by yourself. And then
And it's kind of curious of how much the Shade knows about us because, yeah, Yandere, everyone knows they're the healer. In that sense, but they're the ones that can resurrect people. So it knows that much information. It knows that Kelmac and I are primarily the tanks, but how much does it know about the tankiness? Because in most fights, Kelmac is the one who goes low, or it's myself, and we don't really show a bunch of abilities. Kelmac actually doesn't smite a lot, so maybe we never really saw Kelmac go into a ton of smites. So then, like, Eric was shocked at there, as he was not expecting that in the fight either. He's like, oh, I did not see that much damage coming. And it's because Kelmac's never done that much damage in a fight. He doesn't.
because he always misses.
He doesn't hit, and he doesn't nova. He goes low spell slots first, but then he was like, no, let's start with the high spell slots on this one.
I'm pissed off.
Which, it's a big snowball the second you start working on your 4th level down. It's like you have 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2. And by then, the fight's over. It was over this time because Kelmac died.
But yeah. The thing is with that is being a paladin, you want to save your biggest spell slot or when you crit. Because that extra oomph.
Yeah.
Which is why I can understand why he goes for his first and seconds.
I'm a level 2 kind of smiter. I'm going to feel someone out. I'm going to use up my 2s. I'll use some 1s if I feel like this is going to be a war of attrition and I might have something later. Use your high 1s for when you smite. Or when you run out of the low ones, you start working on the bigger ones. But him starting off with your big ones, which makes sense for Kelmac. He doesn't crit.
Oh, yeah.
Kelmac does not crit. It's something
to be fair,
just doesn't
also,
do.
you have to take emotion into play.
Hit as big as possible immediately.
And like with Omlik, my previous character, I always saved my highest spell slot for smite. But I did use regularly 2nd and 3rd, and I was out of those all the time.
Mm-hmm. You're also multi-class, though, with Cleric, so you had higher spell slots available for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, those I really only used for Spirit Guardians. a 7th level spirit guardian from a paladin
They're very
who just
dangerous.
keeps on hitting you is very, very dangerous.
Olmec was not the paladin you'd want to run into.
No, he's the paladin you want on your team or
He's
to
like,
run away from.
he's like, oh, look at this paladin. He's got a lot of spell slots. He is casting. That's a very upcasted level 3 spell he just did. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's because
I hope I knock his concentration off. What do you mean he's got a plus 13 to the roll? Ah, shit.
I kind of think it was 13.
It was, your minimum was a 10. I knew fairly early on. And as it got better, like it didn't get anywhere. It's like you would only lose concentration if it was a shit ton of damage.
Yeah. With Olmec at level 18, my constitution was a plus 8, and I was not proficient in it.
No, you weren't proficient in it.
No.
You have your aura. Right?
Well, yes, but I get that from my charisma.
I thought you added resilient constitution.
No, I did resilient dexterity, so I'd have.
Oh, yeah. So you'd have strength and dex.
Well, also because Eric is very fond of using dex-based spells, and I had shield mastery, so I avoided.
You're a pain in the ass who try to damage. The entire high AC, high dex save, high everything else save. Like, how do you stop Olmec? You kill everyone else. And then let him worry about other people.
Once you started doing that is when I beefed you up. And then you ended up having the same AC I did.
It's like, oh, look, there's 2 of them. And then knocks.
And I kept on asking.
Knocks 3 football fields away. You'll never get to knock.
I kept on asking Knock what he needed or what he wanted. But he's like, I don't need nothing.
He's like, I need you all to keep drawing attention. Like, got you, fam.
And we did.
It was a devastating party combo. We would kick the shit out of the Shady Cavell with that party. Like, oh, he's cute.
Any of us would have. Knock would have. Because he was solely based on damage. Kelder definitely would have.
Like, oh, you're undead. Cool. This will be fun. I don't get to fight many of you.
I'm just going to do Spirit Guardians and sit down.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself, Spirit Guardians. I'm just going to hang out for a while. You're an undead. You have to make a wisdom save to attack me, and then another wisdom save to attack me, and then I'm just going to hang out for a while.
But
I'll use the dodge action.
But in this campaign, Shada Cavale, there's a good possibility that Calmac would have won that fight.
Yeah, I could bring up the stats too, because I track damage on here. Let me do some math. We can figure out roughly the hit points of this Shada Cavale, which, yeah, it's kind of cheating to do that, but I do the stats, so anyone can do this. You can keep track at home. Let's see. He dealt 44, dealt 45, dealt 46, dealt 40. So 175 points of damage. I believe the Shade has an ability to get temporary hit points depending on if it kills someone or does necrotic damage with one of its abilities.
Yeah.
And he was roughly 30 hit points is what we thought he was at by the end of it. It was like in between high 20, low 30s. So 200 hit points is about what we would expect. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's not enough hit points to survive 2 of the party members, though.
Yeah.
And that's what I also like, that the Shady Cavell, we have a kind of a fear of it. It's like, this is the creature who we all fought against one before. It's fairly difficult. It's a couple of levels ago. That was the last time the Shady Cavell also kind of knew about us. We keep going to the Fae doing a bunch of shit, so he didn't see all the stuff we can do. And it reminds me of the Dr. Giro makes androids to fight the Saiyans when they come back. And it's like, I'm well prepared for you. It's like, oh, so you saw everything that happened on Namek. It's like, of course I did. What's Namek? And like, oh, so you don't know about this ability
Super
where
Saiyan.
I can smite you at 4th level. You can what? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, this Piccolo is strong as shit. It's like, yeah,
Who the fuck is he?
that was the
Oh, he
that was
gained
one,
the power of all that, or all the Mechians.
that's Kelmac.
Ah,
He's one of the weaker party members as far as like fighting and things. Like, oh shit, it's like, you want to fight 2 of us? There's 3 of us still alive, assuming that we don't revive the rest of them. I mean,
I think, in all honesty, I could have beat.
no,
Yes,
same thing would have
I have
happened.
5 polymorphs.
The same thing would have happened. Also,
To be fair, that I get that, but if I would have gotten a polymorph off, I think I would have been fine.
that's a very good point, but your statement of that is exactly why it would fail, because a Shade of Cavale is an immutable form. So you would have cast a spell that would not have worked on him.
Polymorph by stealth.
Oh, yeah. Your AC
'Cause I
is
have
super
5
low. Your AC is that low, you're going to have to make concentration checks every time, and then he's going to hit you 3 times.
Yeah, possibly.
And if he goes first, he's going to hit you 3 times.
Yeah. But each one of my polymorphs have 150 health.
Okay. He's going to deal 60 points of damage to you the first round.
Yeah.
And then you have to survive all of the next round. You're not going to deal the damage.
Concentration check on the skill that he used, that he gets back on a 5 and 6.
Yeah, it might take a couple more turns, but if he drops you, if you lose concentration, or if you drop to 0 hit points on his first attack on any of those rounds, the other 2 hits are going to kill you.
Oh yeah.
So like,
I think I have a chance.
your hit points are too low. We saw that with Yandere.
Yeah. I have 88 hit points.
I assume he has
89.
1 more than you.
No. He actually has less than me now.
Oh, well, he's got 0 right now, so.
Oh, I can't see his points.
It's death saves currently.
Yeah.
He took 23, 22, 44, and the 18 was enough to take him out.
When he got 18, he had 4 health left.
Okay, so 66, 83, 83 plus 4 is 87 hit points.
Yeah.
So I don't think you would beat him one-on-one. Because your polymorphs don't deal enough damage. Their AC is not really
Actually, wait a minute.
enough.
Yeah, I did not take into account that he has 200 hit points.
Yeah, you're polymorphing to something with less hit points than him, and you're dealing with concentration checks. It's not a good win for you.
Yeah. It would be an ugly win if I won.
It would be,
Especially considering I have to
somehow
hit
fucking
a
missed you.
42 plus.
21 with his riposte.
41 gets blocked.
Yeah.
I have to do
So
22.
22 to hit. 22.
But yeah, considering the health part, I didn't think about that.
It's a math game. I love math.
He's all
We're
very
about the
good
same
at
hit
competing.
points. I deal an average of, with you, if you include Kelmax smites, I deal about an average of 15 points less than him per hit. I hit twice, he hits twice. I have a third attack that does an average less, but I also have twice as many hit points. I have resistance to some of the damage he's doing, and if I crit, I do more damage. If he crits, he does a lot of damage, which I'm not a big fan of that, but
he doesn't crit though.
yeah. And then
But you have a much higher chance of critting because you have advantage.
we have the same chance of hitting that of critting, because I give him advantage when I do that.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about the Shade of Cavale. Shade of Cavale, if he crits you, yes, it's going to do a lot of damage, but if you crit, you're also going to do a lot of damage.
Not as much as you think. But the also point is, once I do drop to 0 hit points, I have to roll the DC 5 Constitution check to stay alive, which
And then a DC 10.
the DC 10, which
50.
I would pass.
Is that for each hit or every turn?
every time I would drop back down to 0.
So if you're at 0 and he hits you twice, that's 5-10.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to get turns to stay in the fight, even after all my hit points are gone. I would be a terrible matchup for him to fight against.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's why I like that he doesn't understand. I like how the Shady Cavell just doesn't know how strong we've gotten. And like, oh, we'll take out. He only went for Yandere because he knows Yandere can resurrect us. But
Yeah.
Yandere teamed with
Yandere was the best choice.
Yandere teamed with anybody else. Yandere would F up the Shady Cavell. Yandere needs one person to cause a distraction to destroy the Shade.
Yeah.
And that's why I also don't want Eric to change the Shady Cavell, to change their stats to make them way stronger. It's like, no, I like this better.
I wonder what would have happened if Yandere would have beat him in the duel.
That would have been hilarious. He would have turned to dust.
Well, here's the thing. In that instance, if he gets dropped down to 0, the mediator or whatever you call him, the referee would give him a potion to get him back up to 1 or get him back up. Would he just continue attacking, or would he just be like, okay, here's my sash, walk away, defeated, and be like, okay, I'm coming back with more, and we would have never heard about it.
If the Shade is smart, which we know Eric is playing him as a smart person, that's why he didn't continue his fight on to go find the next person on the list. If he were to go unconscious without turning to smoke or something and get brought back, he probably wouldn't continue the fight. Because now he knows he just fought someone that he thought he was going to be able to beat because he snuck up on him and it didn't work. He has to reevaluate his chances.
Yeah. And now, I think that would have been interesting because here he goes threatening Volred and then just hears nothing from him ever again.
Like, what happened?
And then
Yonder's like, I fought the weirdest person today.
And then Yandere gets caught with a sash that he didn't win.
He won.
Well, here's the thing.
We've talked about the rules briefly before. You can steal badges.
Yes, but the person who got the sash stolen, probably got killed. Or probably, because that's fair. He did say there was a lot of people who died in that. So it is legal, but in the realms of the Coliseum that y'all are in, that is where they're not allowed to be killed, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fair.
Nothing
would have happened.
People could die. It's an accident. It's kind of like we signed waivers on this thing, but
yeah. So in that case, I can understand that.
Like I talked with Eric, and there's no way to track the badges. You can steal other people's badges, and you can get away with it basically scot-free, unless that person you stole it from hunts you down and calls you out on it. There's not a magical arcane way of preventing thievery in there because Eric's like, I don't really want to put that much things into it. Like it should be fairly straightforward. It's like use magic, use combat. Steal if you want, but you're just making that a little bit easier. But once you get to the tournament, then you have to fight.
Yeah, so I can understand that. And in that regard, if he had beaten the Shade of Cavell in a one-on-one fight, it wouldn't have gone any further until he came back with friends.
Yeah.
And at that point, that would be quite the reveal.
I've Yandere goes and talks about who he fought. It's like, yeah, he had this weird axe. It was all things, and Voldemort's like, I wonder if that's any way related. Nah. And then
I think if we kill this guy, I think Azal's going to take his weapon.
The axe? This pretty neat. It's right up my alley.
And it changes form, and it's Wicked awesome.
It's totally
I
alright
do know
there.
there's a sword, there's a weapon like that in the DMG.
I can't wait
I've,
to use a Ranthier against the Shade of Cavail. Ranthier's gonna love it.
woo,
We're gonna have a great time.
uh, I'm sitting here thinking that they wanted to use the spell to interrogate them, and you're sitting there and you see Reggie.
What's up, Reggie? How's it going?
And at this point, you're not really paying attention to Reggie, but you know he's there because you didn't really like talk to him until the crypt, until the
uh, he's always not. He's always in a very big. I'm
yeah.
going to find who killed these people right now, and not really focusing. And they're like, oh yeah, Reggie's here. I could, if I was level headed at the moment, I could think through the process. But she's more of, you either solve this problem very quickly, or I'm going to cause more problems for you. And it's going to be a big problem. You will have to
Yeah,
cancel this tournament.
I like the way you said you might want to have everybody with the lich symbol resign.
Either they need to come in for questioning, or they need to hide, because
Because they're going to
I'm
have a
going to
problem
find
with
them. I'm not,
yeah.
and in the process of finding them, she wouldn't kill them. She would know after one hit whether this person was strong enough to take out Yandere or not. If they put up a fight, though, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe one or two limbs get cut. Who knows?
If I had Dimension Door, I would have gone to you by myself, metagamingly wise, because I knew I would have gotten attacked, and I would have messaged you, find out exactly where you are, Dimension Door there, Dimension Door back.
If you're getting attacked,
Yeah,
like, where you are? Like, I'm with my
exactly.
girlfriend. Well, you know where my girlfriend lives, and you know where the Adventurers Guild are. Those are the two places I primarily am at.
Yep. And if
We
you would have
live
said
close to
Adventurers
both of
Guild,
them.
I would have popped up in the middle and
The hell
grabbed your hand and teleported right away.
what are we doing?
Wouldn't even have given you an explanation.
Like, oh, we're killing someone now. Great.
Because I think that would have been quite fun.
It's like, okay, I was like, let me go get my weapon real quick. Bloop, bloop. All right.
There you go.
Have at it.
Pretty much what we did whenever we were on the mountain. Hey,
Yeah, the teleporter was like, I need to get Izal up to that spellcaster real quick. Dimension door. There's like, fuck. There's two of them. And I can't get away because then he tried and I counterspelled him with Kilmo. It's like, what are you going to do now? I got my counterspell with Izal now. And that person died. Good times.
but yeah, I think that would have been fun.
I want to fight the Shade. And I don't want the Shade
But
to
I,
get stronger. I want the Shade to stay the same.
but I also think that if I had left by myself, I think the Shade would have went to the house and just went after
Volred.
Volred.
Yeah.
He would have
after
scoped the house out to see if you were there.
He would go after someone who's alone. And like Eric had said, I think it was afterwards, it's like he wasn't going to go to the house because he's pretty sure all of us were that he's always there. He didn't know that I had left. He's like, I'm not going to go to the house and fight either one of you because he's always potentially there. And Calmac just was a real pain in the ass right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, what if Calmac only kind of hurt the Shade and he was still kind of confident, like, and then went to the next person, and then got the shit kicked out of him? Because the Shade against you at full strength, I'm not confident in you. Math doesn't help you. The Shade at 50% health, I think you got a much better chance then.
Well, I've been pretty lucky with my Blight Sleep.
It's necrotic though.
Ooh, that's fair.
Don't. Come on.
Oh, I can change it.
Oh yeah.
I can change it now.
Come on. Don't use spells that don't work against them. Don't try to polymorph them. Don't use necrotic.
Well, Well, polymorph, I never said I was going to use it against them. I was just going to use it on myself.
Mhm.
Giant 8 is 2 attacks and has 150 health.
With non-magical attacks, though, so we're not sure how that's gonna
Yeah,
work.
yeah. But
It was. I'm pretty sure the other shade was resistant to non-magical. The last time we used the monkey.
yeah, if I used my blight, I could change it to fire, lightning, whatever.
Just use vitriolic sphere,
That does.
acid, and just
Yeah,
leave
that
it.
does.
Just leave it acid.
Love vitriolic sphere.
It's napalm.
The
It's when you
the
turn it
war
to fire,
crimes.
it turns napalm.
Yep. I love that everybody calls it my war crimes now.
Well, you melt people with it. What's the other
Uh,
one? Sickening Radiance is the other like AOE damage spell that does exhaustion.
yeah,
Could you get that
I don't have
spell?
it though.
Man,
I don't have it. Let me see if
ultimate
I can
war
get it.
crime spell. There's no war crimes against Shades of Cavail.
So, do you have the stat of how much damage Caleb has done?
Total? Yeah, of course I have
Yes.
that stat. Damn, I just stabbed the shit out of myself though with a pair of tweezers.
Let's do that.
Calum has done a total of 1,679 points of damage.
And how much has Kelmac done?
1,460. Not including the previous fight,
Yeah. So,
which he would
sickening.
jump up fairly close.
Yeah. Sickening radiance. When a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time, Constitution saving throw, or take 4d10 radiant damage, suffer 1 level of exhaustion. Uh, so it does it every turn.
Yeah. It's a microwave.
And it can give them exhaustion every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And after 6, what happens with
they die.
exhaustion? They die.
And then after the first one, you get.
Disadvantage on checks.
Oh, that's not saves. That's the 4th one, isn't it?
I don't know. But they all get progressively worse. Like half movement, disadvantage on attacks and saves, and your speed's reduced to 0.
So, exhaustion.
Once you get to 4, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because you're likely not going to make any more saves.
Yeah, exhaustion level 1, disadvantage on ability. 2 is speed half. 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving. So that is whenever it gets real bad.
Once you get
And
there,
then,
you're doomed.
yeah. And then 4 is hit point max half. Speed is reduced to 0. Yeah.
The 0 one's like you can't move anymore. You're stuck.
Yeah. Like you're
in this
stuck in
spot
this. And the thing is, that spell lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah. So
That's
the microwave maneuver is when you use Wall of Force to put them in a dome after you cast that on them.
well, you would have to have 2 different casters.
Yes.
But yes, that's a great idea. Wall of Force, Sickening Radiance.
Then they just spin in space and they die.
That reminds me of Cooking Book.
Cooking Book, that's a good one.
Got that from Joe Cat. But yeah, that would be fun. But too bad Wizards can't get deep credit.
Bards can.
What level is he? I don't think it's first.
2. Second level.
See if I got it. I did not.
But you can cast it from a scroll.
Not at this it is. Yeah, my second level spells are calm emotions
And what?
and silence.
Calm emotions. Why would you do that?
That is specifically to stop mind control things.
Or me.
I don't need to stop you. Just go.
Just point me.
But I know that you are the most dangerous person in our party. So,
To stop
I
me from
want
getting
to-
mind controlled.
yep. If you get mind controlled, calm emotions. Done.
Damn. The ultimate counter. I've been waiting to get mind controlled. It's like, oh, come on. Mind control.
Me too. Okay, here's the thing. Me and you are the same.
I want to see all the cool
get
shit.
Mind control, and we want to do shit to
I
our
want to
own
hit
party.
the party as hard as I can.
Because, like, Critical Role, when Liam O'Brien got mind controlled,
I would
and he
I
said,
think I would fireball at 3rd level.
no, he said, I would firewall this, get them all.
That's a
And
good
Matt
idea.
was like, thank you. And everyone was like, what?
Why are you helping him?
That's me. That is what I would do.
Hell yeah.
If I were to get mind controlled, I would fuck everybody up.
My question is with mind control is you typically you'll see the enemy now as your ally and vice versa. So I would attack the enemy, now former ally, now enemy. Would you attack them as effectively as possible, as in go for the target that you would normally go for? Because I would take out Caleb.
Yeah.
Like I would go straight. He's all like straight for Caleb. I would take attacks of opportunity because I'm not worried about ending the attacks that I'm taking from him, and I
No,
would just take you out as quickly
Well,
as
here's the
possible.
thing. If you get mind controlled, you're not going to get attack of opportunity. The enemy's not going to attack you because you're mind controlled.
The allies
First-
now that see me rushing towards you to kill you might.
Here's the thing, though. You running towards me would not be too much different until you strike me. That first strike, that's going to be a problem. But that first strike is also very potential for you to die.
I like to hit things.
If I get mind controlled, there's two different ways I can play it. I'm hasting you because you're going to accept the haste, and then I'm going to drop it.
Yeah, I've wasted turns on haste before. I'm not really worried about it.
Yes, but if you get hasted, you are able to be crit.
No, it only stuns you, or it doesn't stun you. It makes it so you can't take actions or reactions.
Oh, it's stunned.
It's not. It isn't stunned. I had to read it. It specifically lists the things that it makes you not do. Because I thought it drops rage is what I thought. Then I read over it. It's like, no, I just can't take any actions or reactions. So I can still take a hit and still get rage. But if it goes to my turn again, I haven't done anything that I lose my rage.
No, that I wouldn't do that. I would instead.
What you could do, mind control me. To mind control. What if that was a thing? Like you mind controlled the wizard mind controls an ally, and now it's two of the party members. Yeah, 2 party members against the other party members. That'd be neat.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
I would go for Caleb first, Yandere second, then Volred.
Being mind controlled, yeah, because Volred's damage is not going
It's
to.
just physical damage, so.
It's not going to account for enough to kill you quickly. And me being dead, Yonder's going to come after me and try to heal me. And while doing that, you're going to kill him, and then kill me, and then kill him.
Yeah, and if I do the part of just dropping you, if I drop you to 0 and he heals you, then your hit points are still low enough to where it's a threat to just get
Yeah.
dropped with an AoE. And then if I get same thing happen, if I do the same thing to him, same situation. It's just like drop the total HP pool down for the party. And like, there you go.
Yep.
That's how I would take out the party.
Yeah. I still have my boon, but I'm not going to tell Eric that.
I don't even know what your boon is.
Necrotic resistance.
Oh, neat.
So that last fight that we did, I took like 44 necrotic damage. Nope. I took 22.
22.
I did tell him I took half, but I didn't tell him why I took it. Because I know as soon as I tell him, he's going to take it away.
Because he forgot.
Yep.
So assuming we resurrect the party members.
Yeah.
What should our first plan be?
I have a spell called Locate Object.
Okay.
Somebody tells me about a sword that can change shapes and do different things. I will cast Locate Object. And if they're within the city, there's a good chance I might be able to find them.
Did I ever tell you about my magic mouth combo?
I think you did, but I don't remember right now.
Magic mouth is a broken spell.
Okay.
Because you can give it a trigger and it becomes permanent on whatever whatever you want. So the trick for it would be is you give it the trigger of scream loudly whenever there's a undead creature within 15 feet of me. And you put it on a stick. And now whenever you're around an undead creature, it's going to scream real loudly. It'll go off like an alarm.
Yes.
Or like make a ringing noise whenever. Play this message.
That's a lie.
Yeah, whenever someone tells a lie, it's your truth stick. Because it does.
It's only second level.
Yeah, it's not based off of information you know. It's based around information that's just around you. You can use use Magic Mouth to be a detector for anything that's around you. Use it to sound an alarm whenever someone has is hiding their identity with magic or something. So all these things that you can make Magic Mouth do for you, and they're permanent. And they just cast it on the thing, and then it works forever.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it must be based on visual or audible condition.
The visual condition of an undead creature? I don't know.
Nice. I like that. I can't wait for contingency.
Contingency's fun.
Yeah. I will generally only like. I'm gonna look up uses, but the current use I have in my head right now is if I get dropped below half hit points, dimension door.
To where?
I could choose because it doesn't specify the full conditions, but like if you have dimension door or something prepared, you would move. You would have a choice of where.
Mm-hmm.
My other option was Misty Step, but I would rather be able to do it to a much further place.
I can't wait for next level. Next
Why?
level is level 14. And that's when I become the unkillable zealot.
Yeah, I won't get ninth level spells until level 20. So I'm not ever gonna get it. And then I'll get 8th at 17. at 18. And then at 15th level is when I'll get 7th level spells. That's when I'll get clone. Thinking about just going ahead and using my clone scroll. Just having like the sanctum. Because at the time I get the spell, like I'm able to learn it, I'm just gonna pick it anyways. I need to come up with the materials first.
If you have it in a scroll, all the materials have already been used.
Oh, so I don't have to use material components. I just have to
No,
use.
in order to make a scroll, you have to use the materials in the process. Unless Eric changed his rules for it, but that's the rules
here's
for
the thing,
scroll making.
With clone, you have to have a body, right?
You have to have amount of your DNA or something with it. It's not a body.
Double check. Because I would like. Oh, close an 8th level spell. I'd learn that at 18. I'm gonna go ahead and cast that.
Cast that shit.
Uh,
But don't tell us. Tell the Eric. Okay, I'm casting Clone of the Sanctum.
yeah, a diamond worth at least 1,000 gold pieces and at least 1 cubic inch of flesh. That is to be cloned, which is what consumes. A vessel worth at least 2,000 gold piece with that has a sealable lid and is large enough to hold the creature being cloned.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
That's what you'll need.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have that, or my creation of it, or my casting of the spell will create the jar. Because, like you said, creating the spell would does use up the components.
Well, I know like scrolls of resurrection all have their costs built into it. They use the diamond in the process of casting it. Same thing for any scroll. If it has a consumable item that has a cost to it, that item is used in the casting in the scroll.
Talk to Eric about it. I think that is a good
Clone's weird because
thing.
it has a vessel, so I'm not really sure how. Like it could just make the vessel appear and say that's included in it, but I don't know. Eric also charges way too much or way too little for magic items or scrolls. So
yeah, it goes one way or the other, never in between.
What's the cost for this item? Who knows?
Never know. I tell him not like I generally ask him on the spot because he'll undercut a bit. And
or he'll
then
charge you way too fucking much.
And then you'll message me being like,
it costs
that is
much.
way too low.
Well, because
I'm like, I know, I'm gonna buy it.
Because it should take you 30 days to make that scroll. It would cost you 4 times the amount he just sold it for.
And that's why I ask him on the spot instead of asking him.
He always says, like, oh, it's consumable. It's like, yeah, but there's scroll making mechanics in the book. Like, it literally tells you how much that costs.
But, yeah, I enjoy doing that because I know Eric's going to talk about it. It's one of my things I've always done.
Every potion I buy is 500 gold. Every single one. Except for healing potions.
Well, I really want to go find him again and spend all my money. The potion maker.
I just want regular ass potions that do predetermined things that we know what they are, but every time it's 500 gold. Like,
I want the damn potion that gives me advantage on intelligence checks.
Counterspell with advantage.
Yes. Arcana with advantage.
It'd be handy.
That in itself is worth... Because, like, when I retire Caleb, he's going to become a magic item creator. That's what he's going to do. But the thing is like, we don't have enough downtime to create magic items. We've had more downtime in our last campaign than we did in this campaign.
We had downtime because we were traveling for 30 days for shit.
And then, like, uh, the stuff that I created in that game, I rolled extremely good, but because I didn't have religion, I I never made an actual like magic item. I just created a fancy shield that sold for 1,200, and then I bought two plus one shields,
Yeah, that's
and we kept
prices.
that until the end of the game.
That's prices for Eric. It always makes sense.
Uh, he never watches the show, anyways.
You should. We tell amazing stories on here, and definitely don't badmouth anybody on the show.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who rewatches these
It's good
streams.
stuff.
I love watching these.
I had some topics we could go over, but I mean, I was gonna make a joke about let's talk about the elephant in the room, and then mention the zoo we had to fight because there's an elephant.
Yeah,
I thought that'd be funny.
that was pretty hilarious.
I
And
had a great time.
demolished them.
That T Rex was kicking the shit out of Kelbeck though.
That freaking I still get like we were this close to just dying, but um
What?
so
We were this close to dying in what?
in Queen Mav's dungeon,
Oh, yeah.
and then I mixed stuff up apparently because I went back and looked. Um, the prismatic force does not work like that. It does have layers, and each one is a different spell type, but that is not how you dispel it. Uh, I was associating it with a previous campaign I had played, and that was the problem because it was a ball. And then I found out through thinking that I was in Queen Mav's dungeon as a different character. So I knew, but I wasn't the person who dispelled it. I was there with Lyle whenever he was playing his whichever character. I don't. Well, I think it was a bard, and he was a melee bard. And we were in Queen Mav's dungeon, and he broke one of the seals. So I had secondhand knowledge of it, and that's where my thought process came from. But I thought it was from Prismatic Sphere. I was mistaken.
I broke a seal without even thinking about it. I just wanted to throw an ice chunk at it.
That was hilarious.
I had zero attempt at solving the puzzle. It's like I want to throw this at it and see what happens. I think
And then it fucking
it
worked.
worked. Like, look at that! I'm a genius. Another mystery is solved. You're welcome. I'm done for the night though.
That was amazing.
Like you both speak Dwarvish. Go look at it. It's like, why? He's the wizard. He reads the magic. What am I gonna fucking do with this damn
Well, here's
ball?
the thing: the descriptions that he was giving weren't
Didn't help it at
lining up
all.
with what we do.
It's like I don't know what this means.
And then you have to use opposing magics. I understand ice and fire,
What's
but
opposing of acid?
lightning.
What? No, it's not.
Uh, I think that's what it was. No, it was force.
I don't know. We beat one
Oh,
with air. I don't know what it was.
yeah, and I used gust of wind. That was one that had like plates on it, and none of like I saw the description of the wind pushing it around, and I'm like, that's so specific. I'm like, what would have happened if I didn't have a wind spell? What if I just blew on it with my mouth? Would that have worked?
Who knows? We'll never know now. It's a mystery. Mystery we'll never solve.
Yeah.
Well, let's get this over with. I asked Kelmac and Aaron last time, well, who was on the top of their Deadpool? He did not get it right.
Which one did Comeback say?
He said me.
And you asked Sean, correct?
I had Yandere, and then I also had Kelmac on there. Kelmac was my second guess because he always gets it. So I got both of them correct. So yay me. But let's throw it out there, Kilmo. Who's the top of your Deadpool? We'll allow all the characters, not just the live ones. Who dies next? Or again?
I'm gonna say Red.
Ooh. So again.
My reasoning for that is the Shade of Cavale just found out how strong we are by fighting the weaker of the two melee fighters. He knows that. And
well, he didn't know which of us were the weaker one. Because Eric had us both at, he'll fight one of us, whichever one he can get to first.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, well, he picked the wrong one. Well, he picked the right one, technically. He won.
But Kelmac and Yandere, he faced both of them. Kelmac he fought when he was at full health. So it was like a one-on-one fight.
Yep.
And Yandere he just destroyed. He realizes that any of us can be a problem. So he's either A, going to take me out and take my body, or B,
just take Volred out.
Just take Volred out, because he could have feasibly done it when he was in his room, unless that wasn't him physically there.
I think he's physically there, but he's apparently kind of chivalrous and wants an honorable fight, and that might not be how he's going to win now because it did not go well.
Yeah, so
full.
I think A, he's going to bring friends. Well, those two options, and then the third possibility is that he brings friends. Because I don't think he's going to come after any of us one-on-one except for maybe me, because I'm the squishiest.
Well, guess who's not fighting one-on-one anymore?
Yep. But I think that is the next option. We shall see how that sticks.
All right, well, I'm going to go with Volred too, because I think it's going to be a decisive attack against Volred, because that's the one he has to get. We're all just kind of bonus.
I think he's going to take his body.
I think he just takes their soul or whatever. I don't know how. I don't think the body's important at all to him. I don't think he needs to kill us.
Well, here's the thing. He needs to take his body so he doesn't get resurrected.
I think if he takes his soul, though, if he kills him.
Well,
maybe. I don't know. He's never killed him before. We don't know. But he had him in a contract before, so maybe if he kills him, he could take his soul away? I don't know.
Could be. And if that was the case, why didn't he take Yandere and Kelback's soul? Or he probably did.
Ooh, we don't know. Find out on Tuesday.
And these resurrections that we're going to do are going to be nothing.
2,000 gold down the grapper.
No. If it fails, I'm taking 1,000. I'm taking the 1,000 back, and then I'm going to threaten to get the other 1,000 back. Actually, I'm threatening to take the 500 back. I'll accept the cost for the diamond.
You charge me for unsuccessful things. I thought you were the best one here.
Yep.
We'll call in a favor.
I was pissed.
Bring in the family on this one.
All
right, I'm going to need you to roll me a deep percentile now, Kilmo.
I don't want to.
Time for crazy magic times.
Deep percentile. 82.
82.
Hey! It works.
You can take one additional action immediately.
Ooh, that means I get to roll another one, right?
Sure.
Just because. 85.
Cool, I don't have to scroll. You can cast Mirror Image.
Woo!
Well,
That's what my scroll is.
woohoo.
The scroll that I get once a day is going to be mirror image.
Did you know that with Mirror Image, you have to roll if it's you hit your clone first? I always thought it was a roll to hit and then see if it hits your clone. It's roll to see if it hits one of your copies and then see if it hits.
Oh.
I was doing it the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, this Tuesday, we'll be back for a rousing adventure of trying to rouse the dead and see if that works before we go beat up a bully with a mask and an axe. And after that, next week on Thursday, we had the return of Baldur's Gate 3 by Black Tower Gaming. And so that should be fun, too. But anyway, thank you all for coming. I really have to go. I hope you liked watching this really crappy show. So please like, follow, and subscribe is what I'm supposed to say. And as always, we'll see you next Tuesday. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night. Farewell.